Well, it's 4th of July week, and so we're going to continue with that theme on this week's art lessons, and we are going to do a variation on the American flag that I think you will like. So here is your supply list. You need, I sent over canvases for you, canvas boards. So you want to have your canvas board in front of you with and you want it to be landscape, so going horizontally. You need a pencil, a water bowl, the paints, a red, a blue, and then if you've got a gold, whether it's metallic, we're going to use just a little bit of that, so it's no big deal if you don't have that. I know I sent over red and blue for you. And then you need a brush. It could be medium-sized brush, to a large brush. We're not going to be doing a lot of detail work here. And then you also need glue, because I sent flowers over that you will be gluing on. We're using flowers instead of stars. Okay, so what you need to do first is, and I will find a marker so that you can see it better. Okay, so we're going to, oh, and paper toweling. Don't forget your paper toweling. So we're first going to start our drawing by just, and you don't have to use a ruler, just try to make it as straight as you can, but we're going to make the rectangle where the stars normally are. And this we're going to paint the blue. And then we're going to do stripes and leave a little bit of space between each stripe. And we're not measuring again. We're not going to fuss around with them. If they're a little wavy, that's fine. The flag is fabric, so it's going to be a little wavy. Okay, so then we just keep drawing, and you can draw with your pencil first, as always. And then we'll do our usual cleanup before we start painting. And by that I mean we're going to do our erasing of our pencil lines that are still showing. There we go. Okay. So, once you are finished with your drawing and tracing it, then we can clean it up a little bit with our eraser. That one I got off kilter. Okay. All right, so make sure all of your crumbs are gone. Okay, so we're going to start off by painting our red. And so you want to have your paper plate here, and I'm going to put just a little bit of the paint on your paper plate. Get things out of the way here. Now I'm using a watercolor because I don't have the correct kinds of paint here. It's okay. You can use watercolor if you want, but I did send over acrylics, and those are easier to use with the canvas boards. So we're going to paint our, and this is a darker red than what you probably want to use, but it'll do for demonstration purposes, right? So I'm going to add just a little bit of water to this. It's a little thick. And so you want to paint all the way out to the edges here. Sweet Pea, please stop. I'm trying to make a video. Okay, and then we're going to skip. That's white. This is red. Put a little more. Make sure you pay attention to which stripes you're supposed to paint red and which ones you're supposed to paint, not paint at all and leave them white. Sorry about the dog barking. Sweet Pea, honey, what do you want? What are you doing? Come on. Okay, you keep painting. I'm going to get the dog around the other dog. Let's see. Come on. Come on, Sweet Pea. There we go. There you go. Go on. Go on. There we go. Very good. Okay, I'm back. The dog that was barking is 12 pounds, and the dog she was barking at is 118 pounds. And she was scared to walk beside him. He sometimes growls at her, but has never done anything bad to her. Just tries to intimidate her a little bit, which is easy with, you know, difference in size. All right, so then you're gonna skip your next stripe, and that'll stay white. And then we'll make this one red. Okay, then we skip again, leave that white, and this will be our last red stripe to paint. A little over there, but it is okay. All right, so now we're going to switch over to our blue. I've got a pretty deep navy blue here. And we're going to do our rectangle here. Pretty blue. Okay, now I'm going to clean up my mess on my table. Okay, and then I've got kind of a, well, this is yellow ochre, but it's a harvest gold. And if you've got something like a color like that, or a metallic gold or whatever, we can use this, and we're just going to splatter it. I'm going to get some fresh water. And you might want to do the same if your water is looking kind of dark and icky. It's just this dark color will get into our lighter gold and compromise the color of it. Hi, Tuxie. You like Mama's flag? Okay, so if you remember last week, we made it pretty. When we did the splattering, we made it fairly wet, the paint fairly wet, and then we just hit it on our finger, like so. There we go. Now we're going to let that dry, and I'm going to go ahead and explain the next step to it, to the project. I sent all of the flowers over to you all, so I don't have the flowers that you do here, but that's okay, I can explain. So let this dry, and then take your Elmer's glue, or white glue, and we are going to, instead of stars, we're going to fill this up with the paper flowers. And you can let them come over the edge a little bit. You can let some of the blue show through, so you don't have to have them on top of each other, but just, and they can come off the edge here as well, they're petals. And then, so just to fill this up. And then if you want to, just kind of for some balance, you can also put some flowers down here in the corner if you would like. But that's a simple project, but I think that it's going to look great. Make sure you send me pictures of your creations. I always enjoy being able to see what you're doing in class. Anyway, take great care of yourselves. Have a wonderful 4th of July.